as well.
Yeah, that's not helping me on the side. It's been more production for me. It's Harry in the media. We are live now. Wait a few seconds for a few people to come in. Should be live. Hello and welcome to the Kickoff Care Stadium for the big derby game between Biggleswade United and Potton United. Team news is as followed. In goal we have Regan Salt. We've got a back three today, so the wing backs we've got Axel Ampadu and Cameron Hyde. Midfield of Jaden Irish, Kai Andrews and Gaz Hunt, of course, the captains. The three centre backs are this evening are Joe Gage, a debut for Lewis Jones, and also returning to the side is Coemba Boateng. Midfield two, as I mentioned, Gaz Hunt and Kai Andrews and Jaden Irish in the holding midfield role, and the two strikers, Taylor Winey, and making his debut today, Jamel McKenzie, who's played for the likes of Barton Rovers, Kempston Rovers, and Biggleswade Town, a couple steps higher than United, just down the road from here. So I am Ryan Madden. I'm actually joined both this evening. Dean Foster. Hello, Dean. Nice to meet you. I think I will talk about this game. It's a great game. Enjoy the game. It's a big one tonight for you to be joining us.
Big game. Only come out for the big games, mate.
We got starting this evening for Potton United. We got Sam Irish, Louis Octane, Jack Morrell, Sam Willis, James Smith, Jack Thomas, Cole Butler, Liam Andrews, Dave Parkinson, former Biggleswade United striker, Sam Dowidge, and Callum Wilson. Not the Newcastle one. So, two captains, the coin toss.
We all recognise the striker for Potton tonight.
Absolutely. Dave Parkinson.
Will he come back to haunt us?
Hopefully not. Like I mentioned, there is also a debut striker for Biggleswade today, Jamel McKenzie, which, speaking to Christian before the game, he's hoping can solve some of the problems we've had getting the ball in the back of the net this season. It's a very highly rated striker, and there's no bigger game for him to come into, I think.
No, there isn't. They should be naturally pumped up for this game. I know if I was playing, which I'd rather be out there, I'd be very pumped up for this game.
Absolutely. They say that form does go out the window in derbies, but Potton have only won one of the last 6 away matches, so
whether that could work to be up for, it's going to be Biggleswade away.
Absolutely.
And it's only down the road, so it's not as if they've had to travel far.
Not far at all. Of course, we'd like to thank everyone joining us on the stream today. Make sure you do stay subscribed, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or even Twitch, I believe we're streaming on tonight. As we get underway here at the Keach Hospice, it's Biggleswade in the all red, Potton United in the all blue. Dave Parkinson has returned to his old stomping ground as well. For some players as well. Last time these two met was in the FA Vars last season, and Potton were the victors that day away from home. Two players that are out there tonight were playing for Biggleswade. That was Gareth Hunt and Dave Parkinson, who's on the other side this evening. There's Potton here of a throw in possession, and that's well cleared by Joe Gage. So Biggleswade have an early throw to defend it. It looks like he's going long for this.
He does. The way they're queuing up in the box like that makes you think so. Like another corner defender here, which is never good, and that is one head of a throw as well.
It's a good header away from Axel. And that's not going to trouble Regent Salt from there. It's only his second game in a United shirt. I'm sure some of his teammates, Gaz, Jaden Irish, have played in games like this. I'm sure they would have told them what type of game this is. There's quite a few players actually that are playing their first derby match against Potton, but I'm sure some of the old guard would have told them just how important this game is. And Christian definitely would as well. That's cleared away by Kawemba Boateng. To mention the subs this evening, we've got Ali, Josh Danilo, Milo Keane, Markel Cousins, who returns to the side, and Lewis Croucher. So it was a good display by United on Saturday, despite the 2-0 loss, but had a very early, conceded very early to Newport Pagnell, who were one of the teams near the top of the league. Held their own for quite a while against them. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, and Newport picked us off at the end to make it 2-0. But there was definitely signs of improvement there. And Axel Ambadou here puts the Jets on, and he wins his team a corner. Good play by Axel.
Bargy in the box, the refs having none of it.
Corner is crossed in. This could well be an opportunity, this. Falls into the box. Slowly trying to get cleared away. It's Kai Andrews. Takes the shot. Hits the post. So good early chance that by United as they keep the pressure on Potton. Ball comes in. Headed away. Now United will have some defending to do here. Gaz was unlucky. Don't want to get hit on the counter-attack here. They've found Parkinson. And now with the strike is just over by Sam Dowridge, and it is a goal kick.
As I expected, the game started at 100 miles per hour. I'd like to say it will settle down, but here's the hope it doesn't.
Absolutely not. I mean, absolutely, yeah. Let's hope it doesn't. It's a big crowd here today, as expected. A lot of Biggleswade fans, a lot of Potton fans as well. Goal kick goes Boateng. It's nice to lose the ball out in midfield there, headed away. Just looking to get hold of that second ball. Jaden Irish, the experience of Jaden there. He's so crucial to this United team, but he just gives away the ball there. It's good pressing that by Kai as well. And that was a good interception by McKenzie, the debutant, who we're hoping can be the talisman we've been after all season. Could be a potential counter-attack this for Potton. So they've found Parkinson. Ball comes in. And it's caught comfortably there by Regan Salt. And he's thrown it out very quickly. Cameron slowed it down slightly. It's good play that by McKenzie. Good hold-up play by the striker. It's Kai Andrews to Boateng. To Cameron Hyde. And Gaz Hunt is definitely up for this one today. It's Jack Morrell over the free kick for the visitors. Ball comes in. Header. Didn't really cause much danger. Taylor Winey, we know he's quick. And seemed a little bit soft that one, but the free kick's just been given on the halfway. We're about 10 minutes in.
Yeah, we're around 10 minutes.
10 minutes in here. It's still Biggleswade United 0, Potton United 0. That's what I should have reminded you.
I'll do it. To start with, watch.
Oh, that's...
Always end up asking the ref for minutes at the end. I don't even pretend to look at the watch. 0-0-0-0. Both teams have got to be happy with the start here. Both of them are trying to find a foot in the game. Both of them look frightening going forward.
It's definitely been played like a derby game. Both teams definitely up for it.
Yeah.
It's the old cliche goes for it. Form goes out the window in this sort of game.
There's no 50% challenges in a derby game like this.
Awesome. Flick on there by Cameron Hyde, but it's loose out to Parkinson, who's found Wilson onto Jack Morrell. He's got the better of Axel there. Parkinson. It's good defensive shape this by United. They can just, and that's a good interception out by Jaden Irish. Couldn't quite keep the ball there though. That's Cameron Hyde up against Cole Butler. Good battle that on that right hand side, and Cameron's won the first one. It's out of play for a goal kick. The dugout for Potton is actually former Biggleswade United manager Jimmy Martin, which Guillaume was speaking to me, Guillaume Balaguer, of course, our chairman, before the game, saying that Jimmy was an important part of United's history, helping us get through the going up the leagues quite a few years back. He's in the opposition dugout this evening.
It's very lively at the start of the game. He's He's winning a lot of second balls in the middle of midfield.
It's a good spell this by the visitor, but that's cleared away by Joe Gage. It's a nice little touch on there by McKenzie. Looking for Taylor Winey. It's unfortunate there, but he's had a good bright start on his debut, McKenzie. Looks very lively. Philip Talbury is asking, how far away is Potton from Biggleswade and how long has this rivalry existed?
About 7 miles, and you can take as many years as they've existed with
Yeah.
that 7 mile statement.
It's not very far at all. Just make sure if you are watching to share your stream. There's no Premier League football on at the moment, so if you know anyone who's craving a bit of Tuesday night football, make sure you send them to this stream. Stream as many games as we can. Shade the long throw. It's out of play, but Gaz Hunt. It's a loose ball by Gaz, which is unlike him. They take the throw quickly here, Potton, but then a missed kick there, this time by Cole Butler. It's out of play for a goal kick. In the way this game's played, you wouldn't think it's with 2 teams in the bottom half of the table, Dean.
You wouldn't know. It's very fast paced. Everyone going 100% in every challenge. Both teams trying to get the ball down and play some football, which is always good to see. Whereas games like this, you can get carried away in the moment. It becomes very scrappy, but it's certainly not that at the moment.
Absolutely not. That's a great ball from Gaz to Axel. He can capitalise. He can whip them in as well, but that was well defended. He was very alert, was the number 6, Jack Thomas of Potton United there, and I think he had to be.
Especially with the pace. He's already seen it within the first couple of minutes. Well played.
It's Axel. Kai, he's had a good start to this game. Looking to cross it in. Oh, that's good play that by Jaden Irish. So you are around 15 minutes played. It's still Biggleswade United 0, Potton United 0, and a very, very lively start to the game, as you mentioned earlier, Dean, for both sides. Kawemba Boateng. It's such a big, big game in Biggleswade's season. They have improved and improved this season. Shop and changed the side, Christian. He's got his group of players that he wants at the moment. It's just about now getting those wins and having good performances without the good results. The more we get the good performance in, eventually the point should come, Dean.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to get consistency in a league like this when you keep changing your teams. There's so many good teams at this level, strong teams that have been playing together, like seasoned, a couple of seasons together. When you're trying to build something and we have to start from scratch at the start of the season, you've got to be impressed with recent performances. That is a great ball, and it's Gaz.
And he's got Cameron Hyde on the overlap as well if he chooses. But he's looked up. Gaz Hunt looking for Taylor Winey to... he's looking to find McKenzie. And Kai. It's a sharp touch there, looking for Jamal McKenzie.
As you were saying, Ryan, the consistency will come. The performances are there. It's just about getting the points on the board.
And now they want to be alert here because it's Dave Parkinson. We know how tricky he can be. It's Parkinson. He's laid it off, and it's a good save that by Regent Salt, and I think it had to be there. There was about 2 or 3 Potton players coming into the box, and Callum Wilson was denied there by Regent Salt.
Really showing his strength there. A ball out of nothing from Potton, and Parkinson's won it against 2 defenders and laid it off for his teammate. It's a good chance for Potton. It's a good save.
We know, absolutely. We know just how dangerous Dave Parkinson can be.
Be another long throw.
Good attack. We have got some tall players in there. Joe Gage for starters. We'll be hoping to get his head onto this. Oh, it was loose there. Could have gone anywhere. Cameron Hyde is the one who clears it away, but we've actually left 2 forwards up on the counter attack, but the ball's gone out of play here for a throw. Of course, if you would like to sponsor a player, please contact biggleswadeunited@gmail.com. It is £75 per season to sponsor a player. It's an opportunity to promote your business if you have one, and also it helps out the players as well. It's a good scheme all round. Sponsor a player. So just trying to get the ball back onto the other side. Be Louis Otkane who takes the throw. A lot switched on heads in defence here for United. So it's a shot wide there. He's tried that a few times as Sam Dowdridge there for Potton. Absolutely. Just want to be careful here, Jaden Irish. He's under a lot of pressure there, 2-on-1, and the ball's gone out of play there, but it could have been a lot worse than the ball going out of play for a throw. It's Jaden looking for Axel. He was second best there, and throw is taken there. The referee doesn't like that.
You must trust his throwing, because there was a throw just inside the half and they're all queuing up in the box.
They all are. I mean, the interesting thing I'm seeing here is the fact there's 2 defenders back here. So, well, there's only 2 defenders back for Potton, so there could be a potential counter-attack on for Biggleswade if they manage to defend this well. Head of the way. It's back into a dangerous area, this, and Regent Sultan. I mean, the defenders are coming back now for Potton, but it's thrown it out to Axel. He's getting put under a lot of pressure here. It's on his team, the free kick. That was good play by Axel. It's a very, very different game to the game on Saturday. It was very, very stop-start on Saturday. You have to think the ref would probably be a little bit more lenient with challenges in a derby game then.
You have to be to some extent, I'm guessing, Ryan. I mean, I'm not a ref myself, but I think from minute one he knows there's going to be tackles flying in everything. Like I said earlier, in the derby game, it's always 100%. There's always that extra bite in every challenge.
Absolutely. It's good play that by Cameron Hyde. McKenzie to Gareth Hunt. He's looking for Cameron Hyde. That was just too far for him in the end. Nice.
That's the key to keep the ball there. You can hear the kids behind the goal. That's the Biggleswade youngsters. It's good to see so many of them here tonight.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see the younger teams supporting the men's and the ladies throughout. We also get the ladies, the young girls coming to watch the ladies.
Oh, that's a cracking finish by Liam Andrews. I don't think there's really much Regent Salt could have done about that one, team.
No, it's a cracking goal, and it's I'd like to say it's against the run of play, but Potton have tried to up the pressure in the last 10 minutes. Biggleswade have been a bit camped in our own half, and as you said, it is a wonder finish. He's not going to score many like that, and what a game to do it in, Ryan.
Absolutely. It's a sucker punch for Biggleswade, who I have to say have started really well in this game, but hopefully they can do what they did against Newport and just keep their heads up and keep going.
Yeah, well, it's only 1-0. They've got to remember that. We're at home. The performances recently have been strong when we've been in these positions, so hopefully we can come back and cause some problems.
Absolutely. One thing you can say is it's not really a goal that was caused really by our own mistake, really. It's not.
No, not at all. Sometimes you've got to respect to go and take a look and say, you know what, there's not a lot we can do about that. And certainly there's not a lot the keeper could do about that. As I said, that lad's not going to strike a ball cleaner than that many times in his life, and it just so happens to be in a local derby, which is win-win for him, I'm afraid, and it's not for us.
Yeah. It's about 23 minutes played here. Biggleswade find themselves a goal down at home to their local rivals, Potton, but it was, as you mentioned, a brilliant strike by Liam Andrews. As you said, 9 times out of 10, he wouldn't have hit the ball as cleaner as that. You feel Potton will definitely have their tails up now, and it's all about weathering the storm the next few minutes now.
Definitely, and the Potton fans have all of a sudden come to life when they've scored a goal. We're all of a sudden getting on the ref's mat. Let's hopefully it doesn't make decisions go against us here.
They just got to keep doing what they're doing, Biggleswade. They shouldn't be too disheartened because they've had a good start. As we mentioned, it was just a cracking finish, which I think most goalkeepers in this league will struggle to save.
Yeah, goalkeeper wasn't rooted. He did try and dive for it, but when it's in the top corner like that, you'd have to be standing well to the left of your goal, which you're not going to be doing from that distance.
It's good play that by Cameron Hyde. It's good pressing this from Biggleswade. They're pressing it all the way to the goalkeeper here. And Taylor's asking for the foul, but I don't think he would have got that one.
This is good. Biggleswade getting their foot on the ball, pressing. It's a lot better from us in the last 5 minutes. Since the goal, we've pressed a lot higher and we're trying to get ourselves back in the game.
Well, I think Christian would have prepared for how his team would play if we go goal down as well. It's in for Joe Gage to Kawemba Boateng. It's good pressing there by the Potton forward, and it's out of play for a throw to Biggleswade. I think that one's going to hurt though for the Potton player. Number 7, Cole Butler, who was actually off the pitch and rolled back on the pitch there. It was a bit.
Yeah, I think a few of his teammates convinced him with a few shouts to roll back on the pitch to get the stoppage in play. As I said, that just shows credit to Biggleswade in the way they've reacted since they've scored the goal. The fact that their players trying to get a stoppage in play because we're trying to press, getting the ball down, and obviously Potton must be starting to tire a bit.
Absolutely.
The referees now made the player leave the pitch, rightfully so, and the throw-in can be taken and carry on play.
As if Cole Butler's not in the way.
That is a very good decision from the ref, I have to say. He is now reaching for a yellow card because the players entered the field before he was allowed to come back on.
In a derby game as well, you can't as a player, you can't really afford to give away to get cheap yellow cards like that. You just never know.
Not in a game like this, no, because now for the rest of the game, is he going to go in half-hearted? Because if he goes in full and times one wrong, Ryan, advantage Biggleswade.
Yeah. So Captain James Smith there, just talking to the referee.
I've never seen anything like that. I thought the rule was if you to see him get driven. Did you?
No, I think the ball just might have hit him in the inside of his groin. It's a sore one, sure, but... Joe, it's a smart play that by Joe Gage. If he was under a lot of pressure there by Parkinson, just heads it back to his goalkeeper, calms it down a little bit there.
I certainly don't like watching Parkinson on the opposition team. I'd sooner rather be in red down there, right?
Absolutely, I agree. And Gaz there's good pressing by Gaz. Just couldn't quite keep the possession there. Stavish on there, Lewis Jones to Axel Ampadu crossing, finds Kai Andrews. Oh, I think that's a harsh handball decision there.
That is a very harsh handball decision. And if it is hit his hand, which I'm not sure we could tell from here, it is literally 1 yard away. There's not a lot he can do about it. But with the rule change this season, they're going to be given, I'm afraid.
Just approaching the half-hour mark. Biggleswade United 0, Potton United 1. Good header away there by Jaden. Want to be careful there, Cameron Hyde. It was a good recovery by Cameron. I think it had to be as well. He gets the Jets on here, Cameron Hyde. Was looking to find Jamel McKenzie. Sam Dowidge there too. Louis Octane, who gets the ball into the box. Headed away by Lewis Jones. I mean, for Jamel McKenzie and Lewis Jones, you couldn't think of a bigger game for them to make their debuts in than this one.
No, you can't, right. I'm sure they've been talking about this game for a few weeks.
Absolutely. Another thing to mention actually is Potton's last match was last Tuesday. Biggleswade's on Saturday. Do you think that would give Potton a bit of an advantage, or do you think playing games twice a week and being more match fit?
It's a bit of both, really, right? You could say yes, they've had a week's rest, and then you could say Biggleswade, they've got the run of games. We're obviously, as we both said earlier, the performances are improving. Does that give us the upper hand that our performances are improving, our confidence is there going into the game? We've certainly not started the game as the scoreline suggests. I mean, it's been very even. But yeah, I think it works a bit both ways to your question.
That's out of play. Well, it's not out of play. I don't know why I said that. Keeping the ball down in midfield and trying to win that midfield battle is definitely key tonight. Skaz there, put under a lot of pressure. He's actually won his team the throw-in. So definitely take that. Oh, it's a free kick.
Yeah, it's a free kick. I think it was another soft one. Let's give it soft ones, right? Gaz was fouled out here on the left. The ref see a niggle. It was too much. There was a bit of shirt pulling behind.
Kai just couldn't quite control the ball there. Because there's no Charlie Black this evening. He's actually gone for trials in America. So we'd like to wish him all the best with that Charlie Black. We scored in our last win against Northampton Checkernecks here at home a few weeks back. Good play there by McKenzie, who hasn't really had a lot of opportunities to get the ball as Jamel McKenzie so far. Jaden couldn't quite get there, and this could well be dangerous. Region is committed there, and he's commanding the spot so really well, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he is. He's commanded his box very well for the first 35 minutes this evening. He's come out and claimed a few crosses that would be spotted 6-yard process that a lot of keepers at this level will struggle with. They're the kind of crosses you hate as a goalkeeper as well.
And he was a little bit nervous on his debut on Saturday. Overall, he did make some good saves in the game.
Once you get that run of games, you get that confidence naturally.
Well defended, and free kick's been given the other way. I think that's a soft one there, but free kick given against Biggleswade.
I think Potton are trying to slow the game down. It's very good game management. Not long left to half time. They're sitting further back a bit, and they're not in a rush to do things. If they get to half time at 1-0, they're not piling on the pressure onto Biggleswade, and they're not creating chances. Like I said, we've reacted really well to the goal, in fact, and if we can create a bit more going forward, the strikers are very isolated at the moment, but hopefully before half time we can find a way back in.
Absolutely. It's a good header away by Joe Gage, who was up against Parkinson. And good header away again there by Joe Gage. It's gone long, which we don't really do very often. I think Christian likes to play out from the back more often than not. But he's gone long here. So Ampadu to Jones to Taylor Winey. Axel was looking for the pass again there. Ooh, Mackenzie. I think he was ready for pounce if that defender wasn't there, Dean.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like he made a good run and the ball nearly found him. If he had, he'd have been 1-on-1 with the defender.
Timed his run. Well, didn't start his run yet, but he was in an onside position as well. So it's always a good start. That's a loose ball out to Gaz. Now to Cameron Hyde. He's got space on this left-hand side as Cameron Hyde went for the strike. Blocked off. Looking for Jaden Irish, who's looking for Axel Ampadu. Oh, it was Axel Ampadu. It was a poor pass, and Mackenzie was in for a tap-in.
I have to say, Ryan, I thought he was going to shoot there. All odds against him to try and play that across from there. In a derby game like this, you have to be shooting there. So.
Yeah. And Jaden's looking for that same ball again. He's looking for Axel. Yes. Mackenzie.
Maybe I'm just looking at it from my point of view. That I'd be very, very selfish there.
It's Gareth Hunt. Oh, he's over the bar. He had a shot from that distance on Saturday. It hit the bar.
Yeah, I've seen
He definitely can shoot from distance.
Again, the one on Saturday, you don't catch many of them. Pretty similar to the Potton one. But
yeah, that was a 1-0 as well.
One went in. That's better. As I said about 5 minutes ago, we need a bit more going forward. We've just had 3 very good moments in the space of about 30 seconds. Well, we've managed to get 2 shots away on goal.
Absolutely. Which is, we didn't really get many opportunities against Newport Pagnell, albeit it was a much tougher team in Newport Pagnell, but in a derby game as well, that can also be just as tough. It's Jaden, who's it's good play there. It was good play, wasn't it?
He felt he had someone behind him. The only way he could do was turn his body just in case he put his own team under pressure. That's very clever play.
Very clever. It's Jamal McKenzie. Just too high for him. Ball's out of play there from Jaden Irish. It's out of play for a Potton throw.
About 8 minutes till half, I'll make it.
It's about 8 minutes till half time. So throwing on this far side to Potton.
They practice throw-ins at training, right?
Yeah, not many.
The bar is a very long one.
Doesn't matter if it's on the half, if it's in their own half, they always seem to take all these long. I think they they don't really want to risk throwing it back with the two strikers we have to potentially
No, of course. And they
pounce.
play very, very high as it is.
It's headed away there well by Cameron Hyde.
Talking of a Premier League break, he almost reminds me of Edison where he's standing. He's almost played in centre mid.
Yeah. But we're always keeping the two forwards. It's good to see that we do have an outball there.
Yeah, definitely. We have the confidence to do that. At the start of the season, would you see two strikers up there? We were pitting against it a lot of pressure sustained. But we've got to the stage now where we can afford to do that and be positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's a key point in the game, this. And as important as it is for United to get that equaliser. And this, well, could be what we were talking about if we can get it right. I don't think there was much Jalen could have really done about that. Seeing the momentum of.
Tried to back out the challenge. I think the noise hasn't helped the ref. Maybe a clash of shin pads, but
yeah,
obviously the shouting from the players, which is always going to happen in a derby game, regardless, didn't help. But he didn't get a talking to, so maybe the ref realised when he seen no one was hurt that maybe that sound of the shin pads was just the sound of the shin pads. I don't think it was a.
It was the momentum, wasn't it? He
yeah.
tried to back out, as you mentioned.
As a referee, you've got to give that when you hear that noise and you see players sandwiched like that. It's health and safety at the end of the day. The safety of the players is more paramount than anything, right?
Absolutely, and it's just to clear the way. Good pressing this by Jamal McKenzie. Axel will be looking to win that ball. It's gone straight to Parkinson, though.
Don't want to be giving that number 4 room. We'll see what he did to us early on.
Absolutely. It's Cole Butler once again up against Cameron Hyde. Guys coming in there, but possession still with Potton as they cross it in. They're looking for Parkinson, and that was a loose hit from him there.
Yeah, I think the cross, everyone was expecting it to go high, and he went low and took a bobble, and Parkinson got a flick on it. Maybe if he had left it, I thought it was going to fall to the back post for another one. We need to stick a bit tighter there, but closing in on the half, we're obviously very positive and we're trying to press now. And a cross like that, you just misread it sometimes. There's nothing you can do about that.
In the last couple of games, there's... So the last couple of games against Ainsbury and Newport Pagnell was pressed for the majority of the games and then tired out the last 15 minutes and conceded goals. But you could argue Potton have just pressed just as much as Biggleswade in this game, and you have to wonder if tired legs will play a factor in the second half.
Let's hope not.
For Potton, I'm talking about there, not.
Oh, sorry, I thought we was talking about both teams. There's very much hope so in that case. But in games like this, I think when you are tired, the adrenaline gets you over the line, right? So hopefully, but let's not count on it.
Yeah. So we are a few minutes away here from half time. So we look to find that equaliser before the half time whistle. Well, Joe Gage had to win that battle with Parkinson. He did, so he just couldn't play it out though. Joe Gage now he's out of position. Could be a potential counter attack this for the visitors. He's taking his time with it. The number 12, Sam Dowridge. He's played it
very, very good.
Has a loose touch there from the Potton player, and it's out of play for Biggleswade throw. Once again, it's the number 12 of Potton is causing problems here for Biggleswade. They want to be careful not to put a foul in there. It's cleared away by Axel.
It's a good touch.
That ball to come in, Joe Gage. Here's his lines. He's looking for McKenzie. That was a good pass. I'm not quite sure if he meant it, but it was a great pass nonetheless.
They all count if they go there, right?
Absolutely. Jaden there. He's got Axel with putting the Jets on the right hand side. I'm not quite sure if he saw him. And we saw a lot of the open stage in the first half being played ball to feet, but seen a few long balls in the last few minutes for both sides.
Yeah, the game's got stretched, obviously, as you said.
Final minutes of the half as well.
Where you get tired or you have to go for it. And it's a perfect chance for Biggleswade to pile on the pressure in the last few minutes.
That's the flag up for offside.
A strange one there because I thought it was a high foot. And then I thought the game had stopped and then he's give offside.
Yeah.
So either way, I think the game would have stopped. He's had a very good first half.
Joe Gage.
Yes, he has.
He does.
Won a lot in the air against a very strong opponent, as we know in the partnership.
Certainly.
Picking up second balls, first balls. He's probably been our most profitable player in the first half.
Absolutely. He doesn't miss many headers, does Joe Gage. That ball was just too far for Jaden Irish, and the ball's been picked up in the midfield.
Danger here.
Very much danger. And Axel, that was good recovery one by Axel, but Kai Andrews picked up the pieces there. It's good play by Kai up against two Potton players, and we've managed to get the ball out to Cameron High for a potential counter-attack. We've got 2-3 coming in, and it's just surely there was space for Cameron there to just run down the line. It's good play there by Jaden Irish, nice nutmeg. So we're in the closing stages of the first half. This is McKenzie, who hasn't really had many chances in front of goal. Our new forward, he's looking for Axel Ampadu. It's good pressure. And it's back to the goalkeeper.
He just chests it down and the keeper reads it and flames it. He's had a few problems in the first half against Axel, but at the moment he's coming out on top. Hopefully that can change in the second half.
Absolutely.
But promising signs, as you said, we could have run it down the left maybe then, but he chose to go inside and Potton read it.
Referee going for a Biggleswade free kick. It's not long left of the half at all. We must be into stoppage time of the first half.
I'd say so, Ryan. If I'd started my watch on time, maybe it would have been 7 minutes per goal,
okay.
But I make it 45 and 51 seconds, so it can't be long left. I can't see there being plenty of injury time here. Not a lot of time.
It's a heavy touch by Gaz, but he's won his team the free kick. This could well be a very late chance for...
Potton are arguing there, but he definitely is clipped. The ball has run away from him. He's not in control of the ball, but it still doesn't give anyone the right to clip his heels.
Taking it quickly, yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Dean. Comes Kawemba Boateng to Jaden Irish. It's always going to be confident on the ball. It's Jaden looking for McKenzie. Nice little 1-2s coming on here. It's Kai Andrews looking for Gaz Hunt. And flags up for offside on the far side there.
To be very tight, Ryan. Very tight indeed, because I thought he was on the side, but the player behind him was off. But we're at an awful angle to judge.
Yeah.
We do have cameras we can look back on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's got to be near on the last kick here.
Potton. There's not much has separated the two sides, and the one thing that has so far was a wonder strike. And it's still either this could be a late chance for Potton. fluffed his lines there a little bit to the Potton player.
Maybe he's done the same as me because he's played a bit too much over time. But
there hasn't really been many stoppages in the first half. It's been very free flowing.
When he kicks this, I should think.
Referee gets another look. They're still playing here at the Peach Hospice Care Stadium. Headed away, it's Kai holds that down, looking for Axel. Could well have one last attack, potentially. Oh, and Jaden Irish have won the ball back there. Very much in trouble. Gaz is trying to run back, and you mentioned the number 2. Oh, and it's a loose ball by Lewis Jones, and it's Parkinson who's managed to latch onto this. He's got it to his fullback, who crosses it in, and it's just wide of the post. It's actually gone out of play for a corner, which you'd think would be the last play of the match.
I can't say anything wrong because I thought the goal kick about 3 minutes ago.
He keeps looking at his watch, though. You are right.
He keeps looking at his watch, which made me believe rather that it was near the end. Hopefully, Potton don't make nothing of this.
Ball comes in, headed away by Joe Gage once again, and that is the half-time whistle. That is the half-time whistle in what has been a quite evenly matched contest between Biggleswade United and Potton United, which has been has the two sides separated by a fantastic strike by Liam Andrews outside the box, and there was nothing really that Regent Salt could do about that. What do you think Christian will be thinking at half-time?
There's positives to take. I think if we can get the 2 strikers involved, get Gaz in, just sitting behind them, it gives them something to lay off to. As I said, I think they've been isolated for a good 35 minutes. There was only a 10-minute spell where we were getting Gaz in behind, getting Jaden closer, where we could do layoffs and give the strikers something to feed off, whereas all they've been doing the first 30 minutes was latching onto long balls. We have got the pace to do that, but it's just not worked out. The last 10 minutes, we did look lively when we got people involved.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with that. We'll be back for the second half, so make sure you do not go anywhere. There's definitely, well, hopefully, will be more goals in this game. But yeah, do not go anywhere. We'll be back for the second half. Biggleswade players coming back out for the second half. We still await Potton United. Of course, if you do have any questions as well, or if you want to say where you're from, I'm sure Ari will be able to put that on the screen for you to read. Ari said we can get back in this game. It's just that one goal, and there's been a glimpse of openings on the right flank with Ampadu. Just got to be sharp in the box. Absolutely. And I think we've seen that a little bit. Mackenzie hasn't really got into the game yet. Of course, it's his first game for United as well. It's a lot of very experienced centre forwards. We're hoping.
Mate, I spilled off it on the way up. And it's probably cold.
That's right, actually.
By the way, I forgot how you said, so you've got one sugar and milk.
That's perfect, thank you. We are back out for the second half. Both teams are now back out.
Jack just asked me how it went, how it's going. He said we should keep a recording of it. I personally send it to Guillaume and he gives me a job.
Just checking to see if there is any half-time subs. It doesn't look like there is at the moment.
They're on the way down anyway. We're talking about Barnet, not Biggleswade, if anyone's...
Yeah, it's just showing me something at Barnet.
Something very distressing. There's something else after as well. A different club.
And it's spilling everywhere. But thank you. So that'll be Potton, that'll be kicking us off here. Just waiting for
the rest of the Ramblers to come out from our own dugout.
There's Dale and Dan there.
Half-time tea's not quite finished yet. Listening in the bar at half-time, everyone's saying the same sort of thing. It's a very equal game. Biggleswade is very much so in the game.
It's fine margins though, isn't it? Especially
in games like this.
In games like this.
Fine margins. And if they go on to win 1-0, the goal that's won it, he'll remember it. And we'll try and forget it.
Yeah, it's a strike that's worthy of winning every game, but we hope that won't be the case today. But there's a Potton kickoff here. And hopefully, Biggleswade can kind of start the second half how they started the first game.
Well, let's keep the pressure up, try and get our foot in the ball. Probably have an early chance here, as I say that.
It's come off Lewis Jones. It's number 12 again, causing us problems. And it was.
Believe it or not, it's gone out
for a throw. I'm not quite sure how.
It's going top corner for 1 minute. As ridiculous as it sounds, from where we are stood, it looked very dangerous.
It did indeed.
That's
a good touch there by Taylor Winey, looking for Mackenzie. He's found Mackenzie. That's back to Kai Andrews is with a Cameron Hyde. Sorry, not Cameron Hyde, Lewis Jones. Gareth Hunt. Oh, it's just too far from Gaz. But it was a good idea.
It was
a good build-up.
It's better. There's better communication. It's good early signs.
It was good in runs in behind from the forwards, which we don't see too much of as often as we should. Well, it's Taylor Winey and Mackenzie. It's strike partnership. We haven't had this yet this season. On Mackenzie's debut as well today. So we have been lacking having a proper real centre forward. You can kind of tell, even though Mackenzie hasn't really got into the game much, that he is a proper centre forward. Just the way he's timing his runs. When he gets the ball, his whole up plays good. It's Taylor Winey looking for that cross. Oh, it was just too far for Mackenzie. Cameron Harbour's there out on the left, and Potton of potential counter attack.
5 against 5 if they get it forward quick.
That's good tracking back there by Cameron. He ran forward for Biggleswade's attack and was out of position, but he's done very well to cover his man there, Cameron. He's given away the foul there, though.
He's tugged the player back. Potton players reacted, but you can't get away with that right in front of the referee, can you?
Absolutely not. And I've made that 1 yellow card each for both sides now. Cameron Hyde in the book. Just hope they don't try and target that side too often now he's on the yellow.
No, and it's the same with us. They think it's their left back that's on the yellow as well. So I think both teams will be aware of that.
They've taken this short here and it's gone for strike from distance and it's blocked away for a corner to Potton. It was a early corner for Potton to defend, but still, Biggleswade's keeping 2 forwards forward for a potential counter attack. The corner's taken. It's headed. Oh, it was just wide for the number 4 of James Smith, their captain.
He scored the first goal, but he thought he was in right there.
Yeah.
Free header at the back post, just wide.
Because you do have options on the bench as well that could potentially cause Potton some problems, with likes of Markel Cousins, Ali, Josh Danello. Even Milo Keane can play a bit more forward. Lewis Croucher in the midfield. Oh, and that's a loose ball by Lewis Jones. The referee has blown for a flag.
He was offside from the first, what he classed as the first phase of play. He's come back onside. Biggleswade didn't get an advantage because our right back kicked it and hit a Potton player. It becomes phase 2, obviously, but the ref has brought it back for the phase 1, so fair enough.
Oh, I see.
He could have easily waved play on because we did have an advantage, but lucky for us, it fell the way of it being called offside, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for clarifying there, Dean. Parkinson looking for a header there, but there was no one there to latch onto it. It's Joe Gage there to Kai Andrews. He's put under a lot of pressure there. Now, Potton now bringing the ball forward once again. It's been a lively start by the visitors. And it's Wilson. It's good defending there by Lewis Jones, and he's done very well to keep the ball there. And Gareth can play it up forward for Jamel McKenzie. It's a loose ball there. Taylor Winey just couldn't quite get there. But absolutely, it's been a very
struggling to get it down.
It's the old cliche goals. The next goal in this game is very crucial. So ball's out of play there for a throw-in to the visitors.
No rush by any means here.
Ball's out of play there for a throw-in to Biggleswade. He's got to be a bit more confident with the ball, Biggleswade, at the moment. They're losing the ball a few times. He's definitely got the ability to cause this Potton defence problems. So, loose ball there by Kai Andrews. It's Kawemba Boateng. Mackenzie's going to chase this. The ball's out of play though for a throw-in. So I have to say it's a fantastic attendance tonight, Dean.
Definitely, I was just thinking that myself actually. It's got to be a good 200 plus attendance.
It's really good to see, especially after the lockdowns of last year with COVID and not being able to have fans here. It's really good to see attendance is increased.
Let's not have a chance here. Sorry, Ryan.
That's okay. The ball's in a dangerous position. Axel heads away.
Yeah, as I was saying, clubs like this, like you said about COVID last year, clubs at this level, below, and even higher, rely on the revenue and the fans and the income
Absolutely.
to survive. And not only that, what is football without fans? That is literally all I can say. That statement is, football is such a passionate game that people love. Maybe it's the only thing they do. Well, that's the only thing I certainly do. Don't know about anyone else's life, but away from work and away from the normality of life, football is a getaway for a lot of people. And for that to be taken away, as I said, football without fans will always be nothing.
Couldn't agree more with that statement there, Dean. Because we were covering games last season when there was no fans here, and it was a very weird experience. Coming here every week, no supporters.
Of course, it's a memory that will soon, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, be a memory that we won't have to think about or speak about for very long, Brian. As I think in the last couple of weekends that we've seen at the football, not only at the football, when I've been out and about and watching higher league games.
It's a long throw there.
It seems to be getting back to some normality anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And Taylor there just lost his balance. And this could be a good ball there, Axel Ampadu. If he can control this, he's just kept that in play. I think he just lost his feet a little bit there, Axel. Anonymous says we're looking slightly better this half. Would you agree with that comment there, Dean?
I think we're stringing some passes together in very neat little triangles and trying to play. And it seems to be working more on this right-hand side in the middle. The three of Gaz, Jaden and Kai are stringing triangles together that are being very effective in the middle. If we can get the strikers on top form and bring them closer together, I think we can cause problems in the second half.
Well, there's a free kick's been given there to Potton, so it only takes a few seconds to score a goal, and all it takes is for one goal for the strikers to get a bit of confidence. Yeah, once you get that first goal, and with Mackenzie's first game for the club as well, he'll be hoping to hit the ground running very quickly.
Definitely, let's hope he can do it this afternoon in his first game, as you say. And as you said, the next goal in this game is very crucial.
It's Lewis Jones there wants to be careful. It's a cool Regent Salt. I wasn't quite sure if he was second best there. He was slightly off balance, but he did well to keep his balance and make the save. It's out of play for a corner.
It is a great save at his near post.
He looks...
The number 4, who caused us problems in the first half, including scoring the screamer of the goal, has come in the left hand of the box, and he's had a cross-come shot. We thought he was going to cross it, and I'm guessing Sol thought he was going to cross it as well. And he's covered his near post, and just as well, because it was heading straight for the top corner.
Mackenzie there having some words with Dell on the touchlines.
I think he's feeling isolated, as I tried to point out, Ryan. I think he's not getting a lot up there, and he's getting a bit frustrated. That's very well defended.
And that header's gone down there to the number 12 again. It's killed away by Joe Gage. You'll have to say has been stuck with Parkinson the whole game, and at the moment he's done very well.
Man of the match from my point of view.
Absolutely is. That is Jack Thomas, who won't want to see that one again anytime soon. There's Biggleswade making the first change of the evening. Is it Biggleswade? Yes, it is Biggleswade. And it looks like Kawemba Boateng, who hasn't played much football recently, is coming off for, I think it's Markel Cousins. Yeah, Markel Cousins. So that isn't an attacking move there from Christian.
It's a very positive move that hopefully gets on the front foot.
Just like Jaden Irish coming off as well.
Substitution to White United.
Which is Josh Stanillo.
Number 16, Michael Cousins.
I don't think was expected to go on this quickly. Jumped on his, as you say, his work equipment.
Yeah.
And away he goes.
Well, he was playing the wing back on Saturday, which I was told came on at half time at wing back, which isn't really his position. So maybe he'll feel a little bit more comfortable in midfield. I don't think it's a real change of shape at all. It's just see it go down options as well. There's definitely more attacking options with Markel, who we know has definitely got the speed to call this Potton backline some problems. You've already seen him right there testing the fullback.
Yeah, he looked very quick off the mark there. But as I said,
it looks more like a front three now than a front two.
And as I said, they were getting a bit isolated. Now it's perfect for Gaz and the other midfielders to get up a bit close.
It actually looks like a 4-3-3 it's been moved to now. That could be wrong.
It's a very attacking one. I think that's a soft free kick again, right?
It's foul from Justin Elo. He's just come on as well.
As I was about to say before, the ball over the top doesn't seem to work for us. Not in this game anyway.
Apologies if you didn't see that. I didn't realise the camera wasn't. I wasn't moving the camera there, but it was a foul from Justin Elo, and he's a free kick. So apologies if you missed that.
The Potton keeper sits so high. It's hard for. As soon as you put a ball through, it's hard for the strikers to latch onto because he's there and he reads the game very well.
Yeah, they've taken it short here, Potton. It's that number 4 again. He's mentioned about causing problems. They've cleared it away, and we mentioned about Mackenzie potentially feeling isolated. And I think maybe with the front 3 instead of a 2. Could well be an opportunity for like Taylor's now out on the left, which is more comfortable for him as well. He's not normally played in the striker position, or he doesn't really seem as comfortable up top as he does on the wing. Markel on the right, and it looks like Kai's been pushed forward by quite a bit as well.
That's a lot better
here. There seems to be a lot more space and a lot more options here for Biggleswade. Oh, nice little 1-2 there. Cameron Hyde, who's still got the ball, Cameron. Oh, goalkeeper. The Biggleswade won a corner. They won a corner there? Or...
The fans in the far corner want the corner. The linesman and referee are having none of it. Obviously, the players want the corner.
They take the quick throw in. So 1-2 goes into the back post. Looks like it's going to be Axel and Markel Cousins as well to keep that on. And the goalkeeper's come out there, and you have to say it's good goalkeeping there by Sam Irish.
He's took control of a very sticky situation. He's come out on top and claimed the ball. He's made that his ball, and that's very good goalkeeping.
So just got past the hour mark here. If you're just joining us, it is Biggleswade United 0, Potton United 1 in this local derby, separated by a wonder strike in the first half. At Biggleswade, since making a couple of substitutions, it's like a bit of a change of shape. It's been a lot more positive since the subs.
Yeah, definitely.
Going forward.
We're looking like we've got more options, more confidence on the ball, and more communication up front now. There's more options when we're going forward, whereas we don't have to play backwards or that one ball through that's not working because the Potton keeper's position is so good and he reads the game well. So it gives us more options going short, and then we have something to work with, which we haven't so far.
The free kick's taken. Headed away. Looking for the shot on the volley. This could well be dangerous. It's Parkinson. Turns his man. It's cleared off the line. Oh, cleared off the line. It wasn't the hardest of hits, but thankfully the defender was there. And this is good pressing by Mackenzie. And now Markel Cousins joining in with the press. Axel as well. Really pushed forward there. But thankfully we had a man on the line there, team.
Yeah, thankfully, because he's the last person we want scoring here at the Keith Hospice Stadium.
Absolutely. He's just only joined Potton last week as well. Oh, I thought Kai could have been in there.
I thought that we was going to have a chance there, but the Potton defender has probably been one of their standout players, number 6. He's very composed on the ball and commanding. He commands the back four very well.
Absolutely. That's good play by Lewis Jones. You have to say, for a first game, hasn't done too badly back there, Lewis Jones. So it's Axel there taking the throw. Nice little flick on by Gaz. Working the ball up the pitch. Comes Axel, Ampadu. Ball's still in play here. It's Jones, looking for Mackenzie. And Takai's really pushed up forward since the 2 substitutions. He's really putting pressure on that back line, and that worked because it's outplay for a throw.
It's a really strong 5 minutes here for Biggleswade. They've got the ball down. They've got a better option. Ever since they went 3 up front, it looks a lot better. And I think they've got Potton worried here.
Absolutely. And even though the ball keeps going out of play, and all this seems to be a bit of a scuffle going on here. It's Kai Andrews involved as well.
There's a bad reaction here to something, maybe a little flick out or maybe a little stamp on the line. And there's too many people getting involved. Someone needs to break this up.
Absolutely. Well, for a derby, it's been quite well contested. And
that's what I mean about adrenaline, Ryan. One moment like that and it can all boil over. And he's still not happy here. Something is not quite right with what's happened there on the touchline.
The line, it was right next to the linesman, so I'm sure he would know exactly what went on there. I don't think there'll be a red
card here, but I'll be surprised if Kai gets away with not getting a booking here. When your adrenaline's running high, it's always a chance of a game boiling over like that, Ryan. It's just unfortunate that...
It can also be something that could rile the players up as well. And
yeah, of course, yeah.
Not that we would need much to do that in a derby game anyway, but no, sometimes an incident like that can really... I
think he has got away with not getting a booking there, but he is booking Gaz, I think.
He's having really long conversations with Gaz.
He's got his book out, but I've not seen him book Kai.
Well, I think
I've not seen him book Gaz. So
maybe Gaz has kind of helped out his teammate there, the captain of Biggleswade.
Oh no, it looks like Kai back over and he's showing him the yellow card. That's not that he's paid much attention to it.
And it's Biggleswade who are actually going for a long throw of their own here. They're screwing that man as it was out of play for a throw. Take a long, looking for Kai Andrews, who you think has to be careful in the next few minutes and not be too involved in any scuffles or anything.
I think Paul will now try and get on his back at every opportunity. I think that's just game management. I mean, when a player is annoyed as a previous player myself, you do try and work on that. Let's hope he does keep his score.
Ari says need to win more of the second balls in the opposition half.
Oh, we need to win more second balls all over the pitch.
Absolutely. So the way there by Joe Gage, looking for that flick on.
If he gets a flick here, if he got a flick there was a chance.
Axel, he's done very well, Axel, there, because he had his shirt tugged. The referee's seen it as well. And I'll tell you what, there's tensions are boiling over here. The Axel, and he's got to be careful, Axel, there.
To be fair, I don't think it was a bad foul. I think Axel's pace made him roll over. I think, but Axel had his back to it, so it seemed like it was a bad challenge. But unfortunately for him, from where I stood, it really wasn't.
So we were right on hand there, and the referee's got his book out. This is right in front of us as well. Axel wants to be careful. He doesn't want to be talking too much to the referee. He's off. Axel Ampadu's been sent off for Biggleswade.
I have to say, Ryan, whether we're on the stream or not, I think it's an absolute shocking decision. We are just above what's happened, and he's pushed him. It's not to his face or anything like that. It's an absolute shocking decision for me, and one that could cost us the game.
Absolutely. Well, we mentioned tensions have run high in the last 60 seconds, and it looks like the Potton player has egged it on there a little bit to stay down.
Definitely. I don't want to get too involved in it, to be honest, Ryan, because my personal opinion is it's shocking on both the Potton players' behalf and the referee's behalf. But we haven't helped ourselves, and as you said, the game has got nitty-gritty in the last 2 minutes, and now...
And Axel is having a really good game as well. Axel, it's such a shame for him to go off like that. And he also have a yellow card here for the number 4 of Potton United. I'm not quite sure what that was for.
I think his involvement in it, maybe the 6 rolls he did on the floor for it.
Biggleswade, a goal down, now a man down here.
Midway through the second half.
Midway through the second half. It's such a shame there for Axel, but Biggleswade looking to hopefully try to. Oh, and it was the first real chance Taylor Riney or any of the forwards really had at the back line of Potton United, and we'll still keep fighting on and still keep pushing despite having the man down, but you have to think it's going to be very difficult.
It's an uphill battle from this moment. Hopefully the players can keep their cool. It was boiling over as it was, and let's hope we can find a way back in the game. If anything, this should spur his teammates on to go and get something. He stayed to watch on. He's not gone down to the changing rooms. He's behind the goal.
I see him there, yeah.
I would feel very hard done by if I was him, but, and a big but.
And it's Cameron Hyde who's lost the ball there. You have to say that. And Markel Cousins there, and it's given away the foul. And the last few minutes, the complexion of this game has completely changed. So free kick's taken short, straight to Dave Parkinson. It's good defending there by Kai Andrews. Flags up on this side for offside on Parkinson. Philip says this has all the hallmarks of a derby. Well, we did say it was going to be feisty.
We did. We see that coming with 2 minutes earlier with it kicking off in the corner.
That was really the first incident with Kai, wasn't it? Where we've seen the tensions boil over, and
it's just unfortunate that it's happened in the way it has. Chance here though, as Kai's got the ball, he's going to spread it out wide.
Markel, who has the ability to get past this Potton United defence. That's good play by Markel Cottonhile. It's just there was enough people back there for Potton, but it was good play by Markel getting in behind.
Pressure. After getting a red card, it's very good pressure.
Gareth Hunt here, who we know can make things happen. It's a loose ball by Gaz. And Taylor Riney there frustrated. They just got to keep pushing though.
Definitely got to keep pushing at every point. Potton's game management is going to be spot on. We've seen that in the first half, seen it out to half time. We've seen it at the start of the second half. They've kind of, in my opinion, brought the red card, and now they're slowing the game down. It's good game management, no matter how we look at it from Potton.
Potton themselves are on the run of 3 consecutive league losses. They're looking to get back into winning ways themselves.
As you can still see from that, it is still very high tensions out there as number 5 running straight across the path of the Biggleswade striker. And
for Josh Danello. That's good play there by Taylor Riney. Even keeps the ball in play as well. It's a nice little play, this Biggleswade. We have 3 men forward here, if you get this right. And the goalkeeper's under a lot of pressure now. Kai pressing on, who's really, as I mentioned, pressed it very far forward since the substitutions have been made. Very much forward there. It's a good header away there by Joe Gage, who Kai Andrews back out here to Gaz. It's a good play this from Biggleswade. Just got to try and work it forward now, and wasn't quite where Joe would have wanted it. There's space out on this right hand side for Callum Wilson, and slight theatrical reaction there from the Potton forward, but this one has seen the free kick. As you mentioned earlier, I think we're seeing the experience of the Potton players out there today, to the game management at the moment.
I just heard a very funny comment from the Biggleswade 14 to the referee of "You look like Roy Hodgson." It did make me chuckle myself. But there's nothing offensive about that.
Absolutely not.
Because
Nothing
now
wrong with
looking
Roy.
at him from here, he's a very established good Premier League manager.
Absolutely. Oh, that head, that's just gone too far for him, and luckily for us, the flag was up for offside anyway on this side.
About that number 4, he'll never catch a ball like he did in the first half.
Absolutely
and
not.
Proof, because that one's ended up in Sainsbury's car park.
Just about, yeah. Just about see it up there. So around 15 minutes to go. Biggleswade United 0, Potton United 1.
I expect there to be a good 4 to 7 minutes added on though for the stoppages, and melees and cards.
Taylor Riney putting a lot of pressure here on this Potton. They don't look very comfortable playing it out. Back to the goalkeeper there, Potton.
We have very quick attackers and people closing down, and this is what we've got to do more of in the last 15 minutes.
I don't think you can really give that on Gaz there. There was a kick there as well. And tensions are really, really boiling over now. The referee has completely lost control of this game.
I think everyone's lost control here. It's turning into a really poor showing from both sides here. And I think it was always going to boil over at that point at some point, because the Potton bench have wanted that for a long time. And as soon as the ball's gone over there, at the first opportunity, they're calling for a foul. And this is what happens. Tensions were already running high.
Mentioned the history there. We've got
a lot of people getting involved over there. Thing is, as the referee, where do you go from here? Because what can you see over there when there's 30, 40 people?
I couldn't agree more.
Both linesmen have come over to speak to the ref to give him some advice here, so someone could be in trouble. He's calling in both.
Well,
captains.
It was Gaz who got fouled there.
I thought he then got pushed in the back, and then Kai, who was already on a yellow, has gone to get the ball. Something's been said and it's balled over again. Both linesmen are with the ref to back him up. Not that I think anyone will get a card here, but it looks like the linesman on the near side's seen something and is going to speak with the referee.
To mention they're both linesmen there.
It's the one on the near side who's going to have a conversation with him though, just pulling him aside. There's a lot being said they're trying to listen into, but there will be a chat. And it's the linesman who was obviously closer to it. And if he can see, he's got very good eyes. Although we're on the other side of the pitch, I don't think you can pinpoint any player. I think they're all as bad as each other there.
And so there's a lot of new players here for Biggleswade who wouldn't have experienced a derby of this magnitude, Biggleswade and Potton. They're definitely experiencing it today.
Definitely, the last 10 minutes has been very, very nitty-gritty, and it's a shame to see because it looks at points both teams losing their heads here, but
there's a very lengthy conversation here, you're right, between both linesmen and the referee. Be interesting to see what the linesman has seen.
It will, and how can he get... He has a better view than us, of course. He's reaching for his pocket. This does not bode well for whoever the referee's walking towards here. It's the second yellow for
Second yellow for Clyde. We didn't quite see why they've sent off Clyde there.
I think, again, it's a bad decision all round because to pinpoint one player out of all that, you have to be right there. And neither the fourth official, the linesman, or the referee were in a position to pinpoint one player. And I think it's an unfair decision again. They're explaining to Gaz Hunt why here, but still I think it's unfair. From here, I know we're a long way away. Like you said, Ryan, like I've said, to pinpoint one player is harsh.
Absolutely. And sometimes you do see maybe they send one player off for both teams in that kind of situation.
Of course. It seems like Kai's accepted it, though. Gaz is arguing it. Well, what choice has he got? Once that red card's been shown, he's not going to take it back. We haven't got VAR at this level.
Absolutely not. And the referee, I don't think is... well, he's having to work with one of the Potton players, I think, as well. But, I mean, when you're down the bottom, you need decisions to go your way into there tonight. In the last 10 minutes, I think...
The referee is told the Potton captain he's sending one of their players off. He's now gone back to the linesman to clarify which player is going to get sent off. The Potton manager has said, why is he getting sent off? Someone for Potton could be in trouble here, which could make it 10 against 9, which tells you all you need to know over the last few minutes. He's walking back over towards the Potton player. He's looking for the number and he's found him.
I think he's got the yellow out. Or is he...
I don't think anyone quite knows what's going on, but it's look away now. After speaking to the linesman for the second time, the question's of. He's going back to the linesman for a third chat.
No, I'll tell you what,
I've never seen anything like this, Ryan.
This is absolutely incredible. I'm trying to fathom. I've kind of lost for words here because I don't know.
I've lost for words as
the
well,
referee,
because like I said, to pinpoint one player and send the Biggleswade player off, and then speak to your linesman 3 times about. I mean, I might be too involved here, Ryan. But
no, you're saying it how you're seeing it, Dean. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I think he's sending the Potton number 12 off here.
He's giving a yellow. Is that yellow?
He's walking off the pitch. Or is he about to be subbed off? Straight away.
I think he's booked him for a yellow card.
Yeah, and he's coming straight off. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not. I don't really know what's happening.
Apologies for anyone who's watching the stream who's a little bit baffled by what you're watching. We're just as baffled here.
I've been around for many years, and this is one of the craziest 4 minutes I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen.
We've got around 10 minutes to go, but there will be a very, very, very lengthy stoppage, you'd think. Even before this incident occurred, we were saying 5 or 6 minutes. The referee is now having words with Gaz once again. As I mentioned, it's such a shame because for 60 minutes we were seeing a contentious local derby game that was being played fairly, and it looks like it is still 9 against 11.
It definitely is, because I've just had a quick count up, Ryan. It is 9 against 11.
And
it's unfortunate.
During that whole madness, even though Kai's been sent off, Biggleswade have a free kick.
And the referee is now over speaking to the Potton manager. I mean, summertime's coming, guys, and it's going to start getting light soon. Right, the ref looks like he's finally ready to play on.
So after a very lengthy stoppage and a red card, Biggleswade take the free kick. We must also remember there's still only 1 goal between the two sides.
Definitely.
So you mentioned there must be around 10 minutes to go, but there'll be a very, very lengthy. The referee's now stopping because a throw-in's been taken quickly, I think. I'm not quite sure what's occurring here.
It's a very high rates moment in the game. I think, without sounding too critical, which I don't like to do of officials, the referee is struggling
to keep control of the game.
Control of both sets of players and the game. It's very heated out there, and you can't blame him. I think he's done a very good job this evening. But the last 5 to 10 minutes, what can he do when it's been a melee like this?
It really has, and both players are really, you feel we're going to really going in for tackles now in this game. And we mentioned about how this is a brand new team for Biggleswade, and you can almost forgive them for being a little bit rash out there. Sometimes, like I mentioned, there's a few of these players that have never experienced this derby before. They're definitely experiencing out there tonight.
They're definitely experiencing. They're trying to back up their teammates.
You just hope the experienced heads of the likes of Gaz and a few others out there as well. Mackenzie as well. He's played for many clubs. I mean, this is his first game for Biggleswade.
It's a very uphill battle now, regardless of how.
But we must remember, even though we're 2 players down, it's still only 1-0. Still only 1-0.
It takes a second to score a goal. We have to remember that. Again, there's something going on down in front of the Potton bench. Again, it's a free kick, but it's a well overreaction from Potton's side, Ryan. It is a foul, mind you. I will say that.
It's such a strange half of football, this. You mentioned you've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this before.
Literally every foul seems to be a melee or an argument, and I don't think I've quite seen that.
It's going to be very difficult for Biggleswade to come back with 2 players light. But as I mentioned, they'll still keep fighting. They'll still keep pushing on, because that's the way we are.
Yeah.
And if anyone watching wasn't sure of just how much of a derby game this game is, they've definitely seen it tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
As we hope to now go back to playing football. Comes in, this could well be a chance. We mentioned Biggleswade being 2 men light here. Flicks on there by Parkinson. It's blocked off again. And Parkinson hits the side netting. It's very, very lively on that other side there with the Potton supporters.
I think you've got the Potton supporters sat just behind the Biggleswade bench, alongside the Potton bench, and it doesn't bode well for what's happened in the game so far. I think there's a lot of words being exchanged over there.
So it'll be very interesting to see.
40 minutes, but you're going to have a lot of that.
They've got about 5 minutes to go, but as we mentioned, there should be a very big chunk of added time due to a lot of stoppages in the game in the last 10 minutes alone.
Yes, definitely. I'd be surprised if it's anything under 7.
I would be too.
It took him that just to talk to his linesman 3 times.
And Mackenzie will be hoping he's onside. I think he is onside. It's good defending there, really, from Louis Octane there. It's just holding off Mackenzie. Potton here, they're not going to be in any rush at all. So you saw in the first half, it was such a free-flowing game of football for both sides. In the second half, just reared its ugly heads.
Yeah. So really ugly, really nitty-gritty, and just a battle.
And you have to say, even if Biggleswade can come back now and get a point, it would be a priceless point in the circumstances.
It would be an amazing point. With 9 men in a local derby, less than 10 minutes left after all the melee and the adrenaline that's happened, it would probably be their most valuable worked hard for a point in the season. So
Absolutely.
They've done
Gareth
really
Hunt,
well to stay.
Markel Cousins. Nice. Oh, Mackenzie was just. You got to be careful here because when we lose the ball with the lack of men as well that we have on the pitch compared to Potton right now. That's a good play by Markel Cousins. He's looking for Mackenzie. If Gaz can just keep hold of this, he's done well. Gareth Hunt to Mackenzie. And there's just extra bodies there just to cover him. Looking for that ball over the top, which we haven't really seen either team do this in this game.
No.
Which is, in this division, is quite rare.
Which is good. It's good
Yeah.
to see two sides trying to play football in what I believe is the right way, right?
And Potton there, they're using the space. You have to say, in the circumstances, despite going down to 9 men at the moment, so hold what I'm about to say. Their discipline at that back line so far has been second to none for Biggleswade.
Yeah.
Compared to we see the start
Compared
of
to the discipline on the rest of the team and the rest of the pitch.
I was more comparing it to the start of the season when we were conceding 4, 5, 6s.
Oh yeah,
with the
definitely.
defence,
Well,
the improvements.
Completely changed. The improvement in the whole team, the whole structure. It's just enabled us to actually build a challenge going forward. And like we want to stay in this league, we are serious about staying in this league. And even with 9 men, we're out there battling, giving everything for every ball.
It's a good play by Markel, who I have to say has been very sharp since coming on. And the referee is giving the free kick to Biggleswade.
Which I thought was going to go the other way there. Right?
I thought for a second it was, but there was a little tug on Markel's shirt there, and the referee has given a free kick to the hosts. Biggleswade going forward now. 9 men, Biggleswade looking for an equaliser. Ball just passed everyone out of play for a goal kick. But it's good to see with the 9 men, we're still pushing forward. We're not sitting back. Well, we can't really. We're not in a position where we can sit back and absorb pressure.
We've got to just go for it now. There's about 10 minutes left altogether, and you have to go for it. We're on the 44-minute mark, but as we've said, there should be plenty of time for Biggleswade to mount a chance here.
It's about a minute to go in normal time, and as you mentioned, we are expecting plenty of stoppages, and I would be quite shocked if there isn't.
Let's hope there is. Let's hope there's plenty, and let's hope we can push on.
And I think in all the madness, I could be wrong here. Biggleswade, they've only made, just double checking, I think we've only made 2 stops as well.
I think we've only made 2 stops.
So there are a couple more options.
In this moment, though?
I'm not quite sure. Can't really afford to bring off a defender after. That's a head on there by Parkinson. As Lewis Jones clears away.
Potton are going to be in no rush here. We have to remember that, and that's where we've got to be quite disciplined. He's put 5 minutes up on the hand, which I'm hoping is more than that. I'm hoping that's a normal time.
Yeah.
As I said, Potton are not going to Biggleswade urging the ref to tell him to come on. The ref's now got his book out again. He's now booked.
He's booked the Potton player there for foul throw, maybe? Or like encroachment?
But he didn't even have the ball. And the linesman even disagrees with the ref and says he didn't have the ball. But I don't know what's gone on there.
It's Markel. So we're approaching stoppage time. 9 men Biggleswade still Push forward.
The goalkeeper. Someone needs to press on that goalkeeper because he is not going to be in any rush to pick that up. As I said, someone does press and he does pick it up, luckily. But the game management at Potton will be interesting here because, as I said, he's rolled it out. Look, he is taking his time. Someone needs to press.
And it's Joe Gage there with the header.
It's 2 free headers there from the centre
back. But you have to say, as we say, still fighting on, but the red cards in this game have completely ruined the match, really, for me.
Just when we got a bit of momentum going forward, we've lost 2 players that really had energy going forward.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of killed any vibe we had, or momentum we had from the first 10 minutes of the second half.
As Lewis Jones, that's a good tackle there by Lewis Jones. I mentioned it was his debut as well. But just lost out there. The ball's out of play.
I thought the ref was blowing.
Did you?
But we're having a substitution.
So we're going to have a substitution here for Potton. And it is Dave Parkinson coming off on his return to Biggleswade. I mean, the Biggleswade United defence done well to keep him away.
He had a few chances, including that one cleared off the line. I thought he actually played well. He created a few chances out of nothing for Potton.
Absolutely. We are in stoppage time. I'm not quite sure. Did you say it was 5 minutes of additional time there, Dean?
5. We're on 48, so that would make it 2 minutes left. Plus this bit of time for the substitution. But I haven't seen any time go up.
Neither have I. Which makes you think that we're not quite sure. All we know is we are in injury time. We're not quite sure how many minutes are left. But Biggleswade are still pushing forward with 2 men less. They've tried to catch a goalkeeper off guard there, but I don't really think you're going to...
It would have to be a strike of a lifetime to score from there. But we've seen stranger things happen in football.
Absolutely.
Wayne Rooney-esque from the halfway line against West Ham.
Rooney or Beckham,
It didn't quite work out that way.
No.
The referee's now urging the Potton goalkeeper to kick.
And that's a loose header there, and this could well be a chance for Biggleswade in stoppage time. Nice, that was a good tackle there by the Potton midfielder. It's back out to Jones, to Markel Cousins. So I mentioned we're not going to have many options there with the 9 men, but it's just about keeping the ball, Biggleswade, and working it up forwards. That wasn't the best of passes by Gaz, but it's a loose ball here for Mackenzie. Taylor Riney just couldn't quite get his foot onto that ball, and that's kind of been the story of our game in the last, since really going down to 9 men. It has been an uphill battle, but as I mentioned, we're still pushing forward, and if anything, it's Potton who have backs against the wall here. Taylor Riney. Gareth Hunt looks to win that ball back in midfield. He's just lost out there. Just couldn't quite win that header. It's Potton, as you mentioned earlier, just trying to slow the game down as much as possible. But the ball's still in play. Gaz gets it out of play, though, for a throw into Potton. And it's been a game that was very evenly contested, and it's been a 5 to 10 minute moment, 10 minutes of this game, which was just
madness,
absolute madness. And it's, if anything, even though having the 2 players sent off doesn't help, the long stoppages didn't help us either, really, with the momentum of the game.
We had momentum and we were pushing on. The 3 up front really started to take its toll. We could have pressure, and it's come back to really bite us. The sendings off, as I said, killed any momentum or vibe we had.
And when you're down the bottom, when you're near the bottom of the league and you need decisions to go your way,
they certainly haven't.
And they haven't really tonight at all.
Quite harsh, in fact.
It's headed on. All it takes, though, is one lapse of concentration from one of these Potton defenders, and I think that's soft, really, but...
Even the referee's waving him to get up. Yes, it's a free kick.
It is a free kick, yeah.
And a big but. It's the way he's gone down. Even the ref's not impressed, and he's asking him to get up. It's game management, as I said, from Potton here.
Sam Downridge, who has been one of Potton's brightest players in the game, causing a lot of problems for the Biggleswade back line. And it's Cameron Hyde there that's had the cover. He's had a bit of a tug of the shirt. We're very, very deep into stoppage time, and we're not quite sure how many minutes are left, but we're pushing everyone forwards. Oh, at least I thought we were there.
Our centre back's up front.
Our centre back is up front, Joe Gage. He's very tall. If he can head this across, it's Mackenzie. Controls this ball well. Looking for Markel Cousins. Are we on for a grandstand finish here? Markel Cousins. Gets the box into the box. Header. Oh, it nearly ended up in the back of the net, but that is the full-time whistle. It was the last attack of the game in what has been a second half I have probably never seen in football. I'm not quite sure why there wasn't any more stoppage time in this. There'll be a lot of questions being asked to the referee after this game, but it ended up in the end a goal which seems like a lifetime ago now from Lewis Andrews. It was a fantastic strike around 25 yards out. This tension still boiling out there between the two sides out there who really, really do not like each other. Really, it was a 10 to 15 minute spell, as we mentioned, where we don't like to mention about decisions by officials.
No, of course, but the game's been spoiled, as we said, a 10 minutes madness, and hopefully it doesn't boil over. It seems to have all calmed down now. There's been a lot of fuel added to the fire by certain people, but we should be proud of the performance, proud that we didn't decapulate at
Absolutely.
the end. We conceded more goals with 9 men, and we battled all the way to the end.
And at the start, as I mentioned, at the start of the season, we when going one goal down, we've crumbled and conceded 2s and 3s and 4s. So when you look at that perspective-wise, down to 9 men with 10 minutes to go, and we kept fighting, and if anything, we were playing like the team with 11 men and not the team with 9 men in the end. But it is unfortunately a defeat for Christian Collis's Biggleswade United. But we are back at home once again on Saturday against Cogno United. And who are the ladies playing Sunday?
Sunday we have 2 games. We have the Blues at home to Hearts Vipers Development, and we have the Reds away at Cambridge City Development. So looking forward to them too. I'll be over at Cambridge cheering on the Reds.
We're not quite sure if any of those games will be streamed yet, but we will let you know out on the socials. We'd like to thank everyone, of course, for joining us in the stream. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the result this evening. But like I said, back at home once again for another huge game. Every game's becoming big now for Biggleswade.
Biggleswade are straight in. Potton have stayed out to celebrate their victory. But it's been an experience tonight, and it's been a pleasure joining you, Ryan.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here, Dean. Thank you very much for joining me on the stream, and thank you everyone for joining us on the stream today. Make sure you do stay subscribed to the Twitch, the YouTube, and of course follow us on Facebook as well, where we do stream all the games. It's not just the men's games, of course. We do stream the ladies' Reds and the ladies' Blues when we can as well on the Sundays. Quick thank you for our sponsors, of course, Top 11 for sponsoring the shirt, of course, Keach Hospice Care for sponsoring the ground, normally known as Fairfield Second Meadow? No.
Keach Hospice Stadium.
What was it originally before?
But it was Second Meadow.
Second Meadow, yes. Of course, it was originally Second Meadow, but Keach Hospice Care now sponsoring the ground. So big thank you for them. And of course, if you would like to sponsor a player, it is £75 per season, and we'd like to thank all the sponsors on your screen right now for sponsoring our players, and we'll hopefully be back for another game very soon. Thank you all for watching, and I've been Ryan Madden alongside Dean Foster, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Right, we're back in all this well.
So yeah.
Stop that.